Avatar concept is a fraud perpetrated on Indians by the Brahmins to further their agenda in India. According to Vedic literature, the first three avatars were related to Prajapati or Brahma rather than to Vishnu. It is even said that Matsya Avatar was not even the first avatar. It was only after human avatars were conceived after Vishnu that all the avatars were projected to be due to Vishnu, and their sequential order was also revised only recently. Hence, apart from its own idiocy, the projection that Dasavatar represented human evolution is null and void. Vamana was the first human avatar, and it was created to destroy the history of Vishnu, who was a Siddha astronomer par excellence who lived about 4000 years ago. Vishnu measured the worlds and hence was called Ulakalanda Perumal, meaning the Great One who measured the worlds, and was depicted with one leg raised to symbolize measuring action. He discovered gravitation and could predict solar and lunar eclipses. Due to his fame, he was made the Emperor of India in his times. He later attained nirvana and hence became a god. Envying his accomplishments, his real history was intentionally destroyed by the Jewish Brahmins through Vamana Avatar mythology. That was the real purpose of Vamana Avatar. Krishna, who played a crucial role in Mahabharata war as a Tamil herder king, was projected as an avatar of Vishnu in the process of looting Mahabharata history from Tamils. Ram and Parasuram were actually Jews. Rama was a Khazarian Jew and Parasurama was an Israeli Jew. To make them the god of Indians, while at the same time distorting Indian history, Rama Avatar and Parasurama Avatar mythologies were created. They even tried to call Buddha as ninth avatar of Vishnu, and after tough opposition from the Buddhists, they reverted. Hence, Avatar story was a terrible fraud, and hence I rejected even Kalki Avatar, said to be the 10th and final avatar. However, when I discussed Krishna Avatar in my recent video on depopulation agenda, my followers requested me to discuss Kalki Avatar. As Kalki Avatar is set to end Kali Yuga, and as I had been saying that we are in Satya Yuga since the end of Mayan calendar, I decided to study Kalki to know what the Brahmins were trying to project through Kalki. To my astonishment, I found that Kalki Avatar concept has confirmed that Satya Yuga has indeed born when Mayan calendar ended. According to Bhagavata Purana, Kalki Purana and Bhavishya Purana, Kalki would have the following qualities. He would be born in a village called Shambhala, located in a peninsula, in a Brahmin family, to a father named Vishnu Yasa and to a mother called Sumati. He would be riding a white horse and would have a glistening sword in his hands. He would eliminate evil people through a revolutionary war and bring order in a chaotic, evil society. He would arrive in the world at the end of Kali Yuga and he would usher in Satya Yuga. There are many other minor descriptions of Kalki in these scriptures. Who is that Kalki? One Dr. Ved Prakash Upadhyay, a Brahmin scholar from Bengal, researched about Kalki Avatar. According to him, as these are the days of machine guns and atom bombs, there is no possibility of Kalki Avatar riding a horse with a sword to emerge in future. Hence, he concluded that Kalki Avatar should have already happened. Comparing the attributes of Kalki with the Prophet Muhammad of Islam, he concluded that it was Prophet Muhammad who was the Kalki predicted in the Hindu Puranas. He published his treatise in Hindi in the year 1969, peer-reviewed by 8 eminent Brahmin scholars. The comparisons are as in the following. Kalki was to be born in a peninsula and Arabia is a peninsula. He was to be born in a village called Shambhala, meaning peace. Mecca, the abode of Allah, is called the land of peace, and Islam is also called the religion of peace. Kalki's father was to be Vishnu Yasa, meaning the devotee of the Lord, and Muhammad's father name is Abdullah, meaning the same. Vishnu here stands for God and Yasa means beggar. His mother's name was to be Sumati, meaning peace, and Prophet Muhammad's mother was Amina, meaning peace again. Kalki was to ride a white horse with a sword in his hands, and so was the case with Muhammad. These comparisons and deductions were made by Dr. Ved Prakash, a Brahmin scholar. Before Muhammad's times, the land of Arabia was anarchic with frequent internecine battles between clans. Women vastly outnumbered men due to male fatality in wars. Unable to find grooms, many women fell for adultery, and many such women were often buried alive to safeguard their dignity. There was poverty everywhere, as Arabia was a desert land. Prophet Muhammad brought an end to this pitiable situation in Arabia by reforming Islam, the religion of Arabia. This brought peace and prosperity to Arabia, and women's life also improved greatly. In fact, Prophet Muhammad transformed the Arabian land of Kali, characterized by frequent wars, poverty, sexual impropriety, etc., into the land of Satya, governed by peace, prosperity, and morality. Hence, as far as Arabia was considered, Prophet Muhammad was instrumental in the transformation of the land, characterized by Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. Hence, Prophet Muhammad fitted the attributes of Kalki indeed, who was predicted in Hindu Puranic scriptures. Dr. Ved Prakash Upadhyay was indeed correct. In fact, if you make the comparison in Tamil perspective, it would be seen that this is even more apparent that Muhammad was indeed the predicted Kalki Avatar who ushered in Satya Yuga. I am taking up only the words whose meaning could be further refined using proper etymology. Take the case of Shambhala. It is interpreted as a place of tranquility, but it is not the direct meaning of the word. This word actually originated as in the following: Sam plus Allah, Sammalla, Samballa, Shambhala. Here, the Tamil word Sam means the whole of. Hence, Shambhala means the whole of Allah. The allegorical meaning of this term is the primary residence of Allah, and that is of course Mecca. The name Abdullah originated as in the following: Abhayam plus Adu plus Allah. Abhayadallah, Abhayadullah, Abdullah. Abhayam means protection. Adu means that. Hence, Abdullah means Allah the protector. Hence, Abdullah means a worshipper or devotee of Allah. Kalki's mother's name was to be Sumati. This was interpreted to mean peace. This again is not the correct meaning. Su plus Madi, Sumadi. Su means lofty, and Tamil word Madi means moon. Hence, it means the great and beautiful moon. Muhammad's mother's name was Amina. Al plus moon, Al moon, Amun, Amin, Amina, which means the night moon. Al means night, and moon is actually a Tamil word. This shall also be derived differently. Mean means the star of night sky in Tamil. Amin would mean not mean, that is not star, and hence the moon. Either way, Amina means moon, and hence this also matches absolutely with Sumati. Neither the Brahmins nor the Muslims had given etymological meaning of the words, and they only compared the gross meaning of the terms. I have provided the etymological meaning of the words, and they are exactly matching. I had already proved that all the technical terms of Islam are of Tamil origin. The root of Sanskrit was North Indian Tamil, and there is no surprise that the so-called Sanskrit names happen to be of Tamil origin. This was doubly proved through my research videos on Sanskrit Mahabharat. What is the meaning of the name Kalki? The word Kalki is understood to mean dirt. Hence, the word Kalki was considered to mean remover of sin, thus equating dirt with sin. It is definitely not the correct meaning of the word. Only Tamil language could reveal the truth. There are two closely related words, namely Kalakam and Kalaham. Kalakam, stirred up, and hence means dirt. Kalaham, revolution, that is stirring up the society. The second word is the proper root word for Kalki. Muhammad was actually involved in a revolution to bring about a monumental change in the society. Many wars were waged by Prophet Muhammad to bring about a positive change in the society through reforming Islam. Kalaham, Kalaha, Kalahi, Kalhi, Kalki. That is how the word Kalaham, meaning revolution, deformed to yield Kalki. They should have intentionally deformed the word Kalaham to coin the name of the person who does Kalaham. The transformation of Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga had to happen through revolution, as Kalki was predicted to be on a white horse with a sword in his hands. This change of era was brought about by a revolution which facilitated reforming Islam. So far, the word Kalki was evading its real meaning, and we have pinned it now through Tamil. Having established the correct and matching meaning of the most important names, and thus proving that the predicted Kalki Avatar was actually Muhammad, we shall now research on the probability of this prediction in Hindu scriptures. Was it really a prediction? The following are the reasons for the improbability of terming Kalki Avatar as prediction. Firstly, the Brahmins, who were vegetarians, could not have dreamt of a melecha and meat-eating Kalki to be the usherer of Satya Yuga. That's impossible. The second doubt is that they predicted everything about Muhammad, even the finer details about Muhammad. His date of birth with respect to the ascending phase of the moon, his flight to heaven on a white horse, he being helped by angels in the war of Uhud, and he having 4 companions, etc. Even the actual name of Kalki Avatar, that is Muhammad, was itself mentioned in Bhavishya Puran. This definitely casts doubt on the prediction aspect of Kalki Avatar. Thirdly, if it was indeed a prediction, it should have been predicted by only one sage who had the extraordinary ability to see the future. That means this prediction should have been mentioned in only one scripture alone, which should have been related to that particular sage. Here, neither a specific sage is mentioned nor a specific scripture is cited. However, the prediction of Muhammad is mentioned in Bhagavata Puran, Kalki Puran, and Bhavishya Puran. Not only that, it is even mentioned in Vedas also. How can the same prediction occur in different works which originated in different periods of times? This is absolutely impossible. Hence, this prediction business is a fraud. Let us look into other possibility. Islam was spreading very fast, including the Middle East. The Brahmins thought that it was just a question of time for the Muslims establishing their kingdom in India, which they eventually did later. They knew that Jews and Muslims had permanent rivalry, and these Brahmins being Jews, they were very scary of the future. Hence, they decided to befriend the Muslims well in advance. But how to befriend them? Muhammad indeed brought positive changes into the lives of Arabs. He banned alcohol, he told people to share their wealth with the have-nots, he made the anarchic Arabs to fall in line and worship their God 5 times daily. Islam punished the offenders without fear or favor. Lending money on interest was a crime in Islam. Adultery was severely punished. This indeed remains of Satya Yuga. The Brahmins believed that it was the real Satya Yuga and thought that Muslims would capture the entire world, and such changes would happen all over the world. At that point of time, they really believed that Satya Yuga had dawned through Prophet Muhammad. The Brahmins, who were the embodiment of Kali Yuga, sincerely felt that Satya Yuga had dawned in the Arab world and felt that it was just a question of time for engulfing India. To escape probable punishment by the Muslims, they had to befriend the Muslims honorably. Hence, they planned to play a trick to befriend the Muslims. As the dawn of Kali Yuga was declared by Krishna, and taking cue from that, they thought that Muhammad could be declared as an avatar for ending Kali Yuga and ushering in Satya Yuga, and the same should be projected as though he was already predicted in ancient Hindu scriptures. Hence, they coined the 10th avatar, that is, cooked up the 10th avatar in the likes of Prophet Muhammad. Hence, they collected all the information on Muhammad, his place of birth, his father's and mother's name, then suitably encoded these names and happenings as Kalki Avatar so that they would point to Muhammad without any doubt. They then inserted the Kalki Avatar mythology into their already existing Puranas as predictions, suggesting that they were predicted thousands of years earlier. Using this prediction, they could befriend the Muslims honorably because the Muslims would get goosebumps seeing their prophet being mentioned in ancient Hindu scriptures. This way, the Brahmins could signal the Muslims that they readily accepted Muhammad as their messenger too. This arrangement was to ensure that Muslims should not venture to prosecute the Brahmins and they should refrain from interfering with the life of the Brahmins. This would also ensure that the Brahmins shall earn some official positions in the government of the Muslims. Hence, Kalki Avatar was actually not the prediction but should have been fraudulently inserted into their earlier Puranic works by about 10th century CE as predictions. Hence, Kalki Avatar was the result of the survival strategy of the Brahmins and it was planned by them to fool the Muslims. Hence, there is nothing more to Kalki Avatar and we shall not expect any such avatar when Satya Yugam actually dawns. In fact, there won't be an avatar when Satya Yugam actually comes by, and it would happen due to the collective consciousness of the masses. There is one very interesting observation here. Even though the Kalki Avatar was their smart plan to fool the Muslims, the Brahmins sincerely believed that Satya Yugam was really born and they had no other option but surrender to it. That surrender was effected through predicting the arrival of Kalki fraudulently. I had already made a video with the title Islam, a version of Tamil's ancient religion. In that, I had established that Islam is not an Abrahamic religion in reality, but possesses most features of Asivakam, the ancient way of Tamils, which originated by Murugan 10,000 years ago. I had established it by revealing that the key technical terms of Islam, namely Islam, Muslim, Masjid, Salat, etc., were derived from Asivakam. Moreover, the ways of life, like praying 5 times daily, Friday worship, providing medicine and education free, sharing one's wealth with the poor, not lending money for interest, prohibition of alcohol, prohibition of adultery, etc., were actually the ways of life of an Asivakan. As Islam was thought to signify the arrival of Satya Yuga by the Brahmins, and as we know that Islam was nothing but the desert version of Asivakam, it is inferred that Satya Yugam would be characterized by Asivakam way of life. Even though Satya Yugam descended in the Arabic world and Brahmins believed it so, it was not the real dawn of Satya Yugam yet. The following are the reasons. It was Krishna who declared the arrival of Kali Yugam, and he said that it would continue for about 5,000 years. That 5,000 year period was over when Mayan calendar ended in 2012. Mayans and Tamils similarly predicted the bad times which coincided exactly. Hence, Satya Yugam could not have happened in the 7th century when Islam was reformed by Muhammad. Though 1400 years has gone after its arrival, Islam had not become a world religion. It failed partly because it destroyed other religions rather than syncretizing them with Islam. Hence, Islam should be thought of an incremental trial of Satya Yugam in the Arabic region. Moreover, Islam was a desert version of Asivakam and not Asivakam in its full scope. Hence, Satya Yugam should have originated only when Mayan calendar ended in 2012. It was also coinciding with the prediction by Krishna 5,100 years ago. Was there any signal that announced the dawn of Satya Yugam? Yes, the birth of Satya Yugam is indeed signaled by the launch of 3G and 4G technologies around 2012, which enabled high-speed data transmission via Internet. Internet facilitated the truth to emerge for the first time in the past 5,000 years. Satyam means truth. Launch of 3G and 4G was a veritable signal that Satya Yugam had indeed took its birth. Until then, the Jewish media only spread lies all over the world and people had to depend only on those Jewish media for information. Secondly, we have seen that the emergence of Asivakam would signal the birth of Satya Yugam. On January 13, 2013, I released 8 research videos which opened the floodgates of Asivakam. I was amazed on the timing of my release, which happened spontaneously without any such planning on my part. I had initiated research on Asivakam in the later part of 2011 and I had subsequently planned that I would be releasing it during the Pongal festival of 2013. I wasn't aware that Mayan calendar was ending on 2012 October 20. When I realized the timing of the release of my Asivagam videos, which coincided roughly with the end of Mayan calendar, I felt that it is all happening according to some divine plan. Thirdly, Asivagam possesses the capacity to seamlessly syncretize other religions without destroying their basic faiths. As all the prophets of various religions are really Siddhas, and as Asivagam is a Siddha-centric way of life, syncretizing other religions would be a cakewalk for Asivagam. Properly instructed people of various faiths of the world would happily embrace Asivagam principles while retaining their basic faiths and worshipping methods. Asivagam is, after all, the mother of all the religions of the world and the amalgamating force of the future.